we are so proud of this album, and there are certain songs that have to be played today, like have to be before the album is out. These our freaks need to know these songs. They need to start learning the lyrics, and it's because these are our anthems, our new shit has come to light, man.
Hey guys, it's Ryan from AMS. We had a chance to sit down with Lzzy Hale while we were down in Daytona Beach at Rockville. We discussed all things Gibson and, of course, Halestorm. We hope you enjoy it. And my shorts are a tearaway, so I usually end the interview by tearing them off.
Oh, yes.
So act surprised.
The big finale.
Yeah,
I love it. Okay.
It usually makes for a good out. First and foremost, so we were at our tent, and a fan named Casey from Ohio.
I love that name.
Look at this.
Casey. Oh, I love this.
And I don't know if you want to read it on camera because it might make you cry. I didn't open it, but I imagine it's talking about how awesome you are.
Do we have time?
Yeah.
I'll read some highlights.
Unless there's like white powder in there, then immediately seal it.
Yeah. That happens from time to time. I've never been in
no human teeth or anything. Let's see.
No. Oh, they want pics.
All right.
Return address. Is there a note though?
Anything worth reading? No.
Okay. Oh wait.
Uh-oh.
Wait. Could still be a note. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's probably stuck together.
No?
Yeah.
Okay. So rule number 1: if you are a fan and you would like pics from me, you're going to have to include a note with your name and a little bit about yourself. Maybe the first time you saw Halestorm, maybe your favorite song. Give me a little something, and I will absolutely send you a handwritten note and a pocket full of pics. But this is just gimme stuff. I don't think you're an actual fan, buddy.
Sorry, Casey.
Casey, I challenge you. If you're an actual fan, do this again. You can find me. I'm on the road. Well, to be continued. Do the right thing.
You're always on the road. At least they found you here. That's pretty cool if they knew to send it here.
I know.
I would have even thought of it.
Fans are sneaky. It's great.
Yeah, well, apparently they are. So, you are, I want to talk about this because I think it's cool, the first female Gibson ambassador.
Yes.
How did that come about?
They kind of popped the question. It was almost like they were asking me to prom.
You said yes. So.
I did say yes.
All right.
I said yes, not really knowing what my responsibilities were.
Okay.
You know, of course they sent me the email and I didn't read it at first because I was a little, at the time I was going through this kind of like umbrella of an imposter syndrome situation, whereas I all these wonderful things were starting to happen to me and all this respect, but I didn't believe that I deserved it yet. So, but either way, as is the Halestorm way, we dive in head first anyway, and we figure it out as we go along.
Okay.
The beautiful thing that happened by me saying yes and becoming a Gibson ambassador is that 90% of people who buy Gibson guitars right now, as in the last 2 years, have been women.
90?
90%.
Oh, wow.
The people that are starting to play guitar, to buy guitars, are women. And because it's our time and all of that. And I love being a part of that. Also, I love all of these events I've been able to go to through this. I've spoken at some young rock schools like School of Rock and really giving advice to these young people. And hey, do you want to start a band? Do it. I have a lot of experience. We've been a band as of August 9th. The day after our new album is released is our 28th anniversary as Halestorm. Since August 9th, August 9th, 1997 is when we had our
How old were you when you started?
13.
I was going to say, I'm pretty young.
Yeah.
And how'd you get bitten by the bug? How'd you get into it, other than being encouraged to do it?
Honestly, I always sang, and my dad is still a musician. He's a bass player, and he plays piano as well. He can't sing a lick. He didn't get that from me. I got that more from my mother.
Good.
And so we would do that in the house. Like my dad would start playing chords on piano and teach me chords, and then I was like, oh, I can just make up little songs. I was always that kind of kid.
So you had the ear.
I had the ear, and then when little bro is and my little brother RJ is our drummer, and he is a sponge. So we would give him VHS tapes of John Bonham, Gene Krupa, Ginger Baker, and he would just soak it in. He would learn these like famous drum riffs, and then I'm like, dude. It's like Pinky in the Brain. I'm like, dude, we could take over the world if I just write my stupid songs against your beats. I'll play piano, guitar, whatever. We'll find our guys, you know, and history, you know.
So that's how it happened.
That's how it happened.
Really?
Yeah. And it was like, this was more of a primal need. We didn't really think we were going to like do this as a career. It was just something after school. Like there was no social media when we were growing up. So we would get teased mercilessly. We'd come home from school, we'd have a cry about it, and then we'd sit in the living room and jam.
Right.
And write a song. And we always got the last laugh because we got the
Well,
song,
look at you now. Talking to me.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, you've been pretty open about having, like you said, imposter syndrome and dealing with mental issues, anxiety, all the things that I think a lot of people still are afraid to be open about.
Yes.
And so I know that that's really important to what you guys do.
I have an alphabet soup because I'm 41, and when I turned 40, I decided to just go on this righteous path of self-betterment and trying to figure out what's like happening with me. And so I have OCD, adult ADHD, and I have I forget what my therapist knows what it's called, but it's complicated. It's not like a multiple personality disorder. It's as I've grown in this business, there are certain personalities in me that will come forward.
Okay.
And be like, okay, like I have an Olympian in me that's like, hey, we got 30 seconds to do something cool. Better pull something out of your ass.
Right.
That's the one. So examples. So I love talking about it because it makes me feel less alone.
Right.
Because then I get like letters or people that come into our meet and greets be like, dude, I saw that interview and that's me. I'm like, oh, that's me too. We're in this together. So.
I think that's a big part of why you're so successful is that I don't think you lose sight of the fact that there are all these people watching what you do and realizing that you have a lot of the same issues that anybody else out there does.
Yeah.
And you don't lose sight of it. It doesn't seem to come off like some rock stars you meet.
No,
they can't be bothered.
Genuine. And for me, I didn't get into this for the fame. When the fame happened in my 30s, I was unprepared for it. And it was happening kind of faster than I could keep up. And so there was a point in time in my late 30s, like 39, we were on tour in Europe and I was getting really depressed. I couldn't shut it off.
Okay.
Like I just needed to I wasn't suicidal. It was more of like an emotional, like I needed something that would just, it's like school's out and nobody's in charge in my head. I just want everything to like silence for a little bit. And that was hard. And so when I turned 40, my gift to myself, which I'm still on this train, I don't know whether it's going to last forever, but I stopped drinking when I was 40 because that was becoming a tool to shut everything down. But then I was getting blackout. Like not like, on stage and all that, but just like right before bed, be like, let me have a few drinks so that I can
knock
just
the voices out.
Think. Yeah. So, but I'm in a happy place. We just finished our album. It's going to be released on August 8th, 8/8. And we are about to today play new songs that we have never before played out. No one's ever heard them before.
This will be the debut.
This will be the debut today.
How do you know how to do that? How do you know how to weave in? Because with a set like this, obviously you guys get more time than some of the other bands. But how do you know when to weave in something new and go, well, we could just play the hits and let it happen?
We don't like calling it in, and we don't like depending on our past hits. Our past hits are our past hits, and they have moments. And these wonderful people that are in the audience will have that nostalgic, I remember, this is one of my favorite songs. But for us, it's a feeling. We are so proud of this album, and there are certain songs that have to be played today, like have to be. Before the album is out, these our freaks need to know these songs. They need to start learning the lyrics, and it's because these are our anthems, our new shit has come to light, man.
Well, I could feel the excitement. So, aside from knowing what to choose, what can we expect from this new stuff? I mean, I assume it's classic Halestorm, or is it more?
It is. I dare say this is our new beginning.
Okay.
We closed a chapter at the end of our 30s. We are now in this beautiful midlife as a band. RJ's 38. The oldest one is Grandpa Storm Joe. He's 43. Josh and I are both 41. Oh, no, Josh just turned 42 last week. He's 5'5". But anyway, we're going through this beautiful midlife as a band, so we want to reintroduce ourselves. Okay. This is Halestorm right now in the moment.
2.0.
2.0.
Or 5.0.
Or 17.0. Who knows?
All right. So when you come to a show like this, and we were in the tent, we were listening, like there's a 1,000 songs like barraging us. You ever come to one of these shows and go, I wish I had written that song?
Oh, yes.
Anything come to mind?
Usually it's Corey Taylor.
Oh, yeah.
And the way that I am such a fan of, I've always been a fan of Slipknot and Corey and Stone Sour and like that whole camp. But the last time I saw Slipknot was a couple of months ago at some festival, and they were headlining. I felt like I was tripping balls, dude. like I was taken to a place. It was like metal jazz. It was life affirming and life saving at the same time. So I'm always with Slipknot, musically and lyrically. Corey's a genius, and he's not afraid to go there.
That's true.
He's not afraid to tell the brutal truth.
Well, and that's kind of similar to you. I mean, you also have the voice to be able to carry off a lot of different stuff. Some people, they know their lane and they stick to it. I mean, it seems to me like aside from Halestorm, you're doing stuff where I see you like at a wrestling event or like, or like sporting events where you're like, it's almost like you know how to play the game, like, and keep the brand out there.
And I have a lot of different, as far as vocally, I've been training since I was 16 and putting myself through my own curriculum and literally writing it throughout my life and living it. And so one of my the thing that I'm most proud of vocally with me is that I'm able to do a lot of things. I'm able to scream my head off. I'm able to sing a cheesy love ballad. I'm able to get very soft, very quiet, and very loud, very powerful, very high, very low. And I've worked my ass off to be able to do all of that.
How do you keep that going? Like, is there like a strict warm-up routine?
I mean, a lot of it is people are always looking for the magic feather or the magic tea or the magic lozenge or the spray or the strict schedule, the eating. For me, it's more of every day feeling where you're at. So first you start with, where's my body at? Am I training? How's my speaking voice? Where is my neutral? As long as that's okay, you're going to be fine. You don't even really need to warm up as long as you know your own body. If it hurts, don't do it. Oh, duh. Eat well, protein, veggies, fruits. That is what it is. Get as much sleep as you can, but not too much sleep to where it feels like you got ran over by a truck. Okay. And hydrate yourself all day. Yeah. Like, because it takes 20 minutes for what you drink to actually get here. Right. And it's got to go past all the organs that your body doesn't give a shit that you're a singer. It doesn't. It's That's like, true. I need to keep you alive. Right, so it doesn't care if you're dehydrated as long as you're alive.
So have you ever had a show where you're like, all right, we're about to go out. I chugged a bunch of water. My voice isn't quite where I want it to be. And in about 5 songs in, I'm going to have to piss. Yes. What do you do? You just hold it? It's like I could scream and piss myself. Or wear some
real dark pants. Wear some latex.
Oh, well, the leather pants.
I mean, this will hide whatever, yeah.
All right. Well,
it's just sweat. Or you go the Ozzy route and you just, the reason that he dumped all the
water on
the water is because he was pissing himself.
Is that what he did?
That's like flushing the toilet.
Is that true?
That's what I've heard. Folklore.
I just don't want Sharon to come after us.
I know. It's folklore. Sharon, you got to let me know. I'll know. We're playing the last ever Black Sabbath show on July 5th.
Oh, you're going, yeah. I was going to
ask. We've been asked to perform.
I assume, yeah.
I'm also the only woman represented there. And
really?
And not only are we playing a Halestorm set, we're also doing a Black Sabbath cover, and I've been asked to be a part of the supergroup with Tom Morello. All
right, so are you allowed to tell us which Sabbath song you're going to do, or is that a secret?
I'm going to keep that under wraps. I'll tell you off the record later.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to know. Because we were just talking about that. I mean, it's kind of hard. It's hard to believe that Ozzy's still alive because we love him and we know what he's been through. But to know that he's still going to do this, I mean, the amount of eyeballs that are going to be on that show is like...
Well, at first, a year ago when we first were asked about this, they were going to have me sing Close My Eyes Forever with Ozzy.
Will you do the lead part?
Only if he could. And as we got closer, I don't think he's going to... Yeah, it's a tall order.
Yeah. So. Well, that's it. I think as the show gets closer, it's kind of nebulous as to what he's going to be able to pull off.
I just hope that there's been talk of the Dave Grohl throne.
Oh yeah.
Maybe just putting him on a throne, letting him enjoy it, put some earplugs in,
soak it in,
and just be there, because I think people are going to want to see him, and we're all going to want to know that we're honoring him.
Oh, for sure.
That's we're not there to show off.
No.
We're there to honor the godfathers of heavy metal. They invented the genre.
It's amazing, isn't it?
How many bands would not exist with that? My first riff I ever learned on guitar was Heaven and Hell by Black Sabbath.
Nice, yeah.
It was my ABCs. Alice Cooper, Black Sabbath, Cinderella, and Dio. That's my ABCD.
I was going to ask, because we talk so much about how obviously you're a great vocalist, but you're a damn good guitar player too. And I always wonder, who was it that you were like, all right, that's it. That's what I want to do.
I mean, vocally, it was a combination, because I loved the gothic, dark, mysterious folklore of Ozzy Osbourne and Alice Cooper, but I loved the vocal prowess of Dio.
Yeah.
And Cinderella.
Tom Kiefer was amazing.
Tom Kiefer, yeah, he's a good friend of mine. Oh, sorry. Thank you.
Yeah. I love his voice. I love. They came out at a time too when Cinderella came out. It was one of those bands that it wasn't so much about hair metal. They were doing bluesy rock and roll, and it had the sound. But I think
they were an amazing live band. This is before tracks, before miming. They actually did this.
And he was using vintage guitars. I remember I saw him some show. Everyone was using like Kramer's and PV, or that was fine. But he came out with a Les Paul Custom and a Telly. I was like, this was like '87. Yeah. I'm like, dude, who's doing that?
So check this out. My first Les Paul. My
Yeah.
first Gibson I ever bought was it's a 91 Tobacco Burst Les Paul Custom.
Yeah.
Tom Kiefer, his first guitar was the exact same, but he spray painted it black. So all of those that black guitar.
Oh,
so we like connected hard on that. Yeah.
was it heavy?
Yes. Still
Customs
is.
are heavy.
Still is.
So I think I saw, and I don't know if it's been leaked, but there's some images of you live playing. Is it an Explorer baritone? Is that
Yes.
something that will be coming out, or is that something they just made for you? And
They made it for me. They made me 2 for tour. I also have a double neck with a baritone on bottom and standard on top.
how heavy is that?
If I have back problems when I'm older, I blame that guitar. Yeah.
So, I mean, how much of the set do you use with that?
Probably about 2 or 3 songs with the gold baritone, 2 songs total with the double neck, and the rest of it are I have just a slew of all of my signature Explorers.
Okay.
And,
So you got the-
and custom ones that have been made for me.
got everything
You'll-
covered.
You'll see a lot of, and I have one custom Kramer that's my latest creation.
Yeah,
that
with
I'll be
that big
starting.
sparkly one.
I'll be starting the set off with that
Have
tonight.
you ever taken anyone's eye out with that thing? Or?
I've taken a lot of knees out with the
Yeah,
guys.
that
I'll
looks
go up
painful.
next to them because it's a little longer than the Explorer, so
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
spatially a little off. You know,
Yeah, like don't come near me when I'm rocking out.
Wham,
You
yeah.
might get one right to the
it's
throat.
very spiky.
All right, so we're here today. We're at Daytona today. We know you're going to be where you're going to be in July over in Birmingham. And before the album comes out in August, what is Halestorm up
We go
to?
out with Volbeat. We do a headlining tour with Lindsey Sterling and Apocalyptica and Kelsey Carter. We go back to Europe and then come back to U.S. until December. So, yeah. All of our dates are up. All of the tickets are out. All of the tours have been announced. So I'll see y'all on the road, you know?
When do you stop?
Never.
But you
We
love
called it the Never Rest Tour.
But that's funny, you know.
For
And
a
again,
reason.
you mentioned Dave Grohl, and there's definitely a similarity in the sense that obviously you're both talented and all that. But I think there's this likability about what you do. It's like I think your fans realize how much you enjoy it and how much you care about it. And I think don't stop that. I think that comes through almost more than anything else.
It's the only way to be. You know, that's when you're in it for the right reasons.
Right.
And when I was 13, you would have never been able to tell me and me believe you
Right.
that all of a sudden I have like millions of people that care about what I say and what I do. And so it's very important for me to be my core ultimate true self first always.
Right.
You know, and
Right.
that's the example I live by. I'm not perfect.
No.
You know, I got my vices, I got my struggles, I got my
Mm-hmm.
but so does everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, it just so happens that I have a microphone that people end up listening to me, you know?
I know, but I think a lot of people who are as fortunate as you are to have made it, there's like a switch that flips off and they almost divorce themselves from being a regular person. Like they're above
Yes.
it. And I'm sure you've seen that.
Oh, yes. I know most of those guys
Is it a bummer to meet your hero sometimes?
sometimes.
Yeah.
It's a bummer to meet your heroes and then realize they're not actually singing and they're not actually playing. They're all like miming to tape now. And then it's also sad when you know they hate what they do now and they hate each other
I know, that
and they
bums me
don't
out.
speak. It's sad.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what they lose is that knowing how important it is to the people that come to these shows. Like, this is their livelihood. Like, they love this. They're throwing their money down. They live it. Like, we watched people come in when they opened the gates, and it was like they were walking into heaven. They couldn't believe they were here. They were so excited. And don't you feel like you owe that to, like, the crowd that's out
Absolutely.
there? Yeah.
We are in the business of smiles. We
Yeah.
spread joy for a living.
We do.
It's amazing. You know, I could be a waitress in Pennsylvania right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like just pouring bad beer at a bar. I'm not. I get to go out there, look at the front row. Like here's a question for you. Why does anybody go to the front row and stay there for these festivals? It's hell.
Yeah, it is.
There's nowhere to pee. You get dehydrated. People freaking pass out.
Oh,
You're getting
God.
kicked in the face with freaking mosh pitters and like all the crowd surfers and all that shit. It's amazing. I have so much respect for the front row, the front lines, you know,
Respected sympathy.
and sympathy.
I always think that. Who are the people that go to Times Square on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve? They're there two in the
I
afternoon.
did it
I'm
once
like,
in Nashville, never
yeah.
again.
No. Well, listen. I appreciate your time.
Thank you for having
And thank you for talking to us on a day. Some singers don't like to
Oh,
talk
no,
to
it's
you.
good.
You know,
This is actually kind of part of my warm up. Like, hey, my speaking voice, cool.
you guys are gonna kill it. Thank you, Lzzy.
Hey, can't
Appreciate
wait
it.
to see the show, and
Thank
I love
you.
you.
Love
and
you too.
Thank you for having such a great conversation. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
See you guys on the road.
We'd like to thank our friends at Gibson for making this possible. And of course, we'd like to thank Lzzy. Be sure to check out Halestorm this summer on the road. And of course, they've got new music coming out. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. And to check out all the Gibson gear that we've got, check us out at americamusical.com.
For what it's worth, I will send this.
Oh, I know you will. So yeah, we just want to.
I like doing
you
that.
got to
But
shame her a
I'm
little
just
bit.
like, dude,